Hi everyone. So today I'm going to discuss you this 2019 June paper, pre-journal paper. So it's 2019 June investigative small business paper reference code 4BS101R. So regional paper, so small business paper, same structure, same guidelines. Paper is out of 80 and you have 1.5 hours to the business paper. And then there's a same way, like have the international IGCSE business studies, all the given the formulas over there, like normal papers. Okay, look at the case study. It's a small, like a four line case study, right? They're not giving like a full like a paragraphs. Now they're giving like a small case study for small business. You can see the case study is a Lavender, a Malaysian business, started bakery, a pastry and takeaway shops. It is now developed into several other businesses. El Cafe is a self-service cafe selling a variety of cakes and drinks. El Bistro is a casual dining place with a selection of Asian foods, and El Table is a formal restaurant that uses high and organic ingredients, right? High organic ingredients. So as a result of that, so you can see this Malaysian restaurant chain is a small business line, small restaurant chain. This restaurant chain have a giving some kind of like a different varieties. You can see not serving the same food. You can see El Cafe serving selling variety of cakes and drinks, but El Bistro selling casual dining place for people, like a selection of Asian food, and El Table is it's a formal restaurant. Use high quality and organic ingredients. So then different varieties are there in these three different locations. They are not selling the same items everywhere. There's a variety, right? So that also keep in mind when you're reading this case study. Have kind of an idea. Okay, question number 1. Which one of the following would be a source of finance that could be used as a cash flow problem? Cash flow problem is a short-term problem. Cash flow problems coming normally, we generally regard the cash flow problems are short-term problems, short-term issues. So then you have to find out some kind of an item out of this which is short-term nature. So venture capitalists, it's a venture capital, they are investing long run. So that is obviously not an answer. Overdraft, that is a short-term answer. Let's look at the others one also. Debenture is a long run. The leasing also a long run. So answer is correct answer. I can see some couple of students actually have given the answers. Correct answer, yes. The answer is overdraft. B is the correct answer. Okay, let's go to second question. Which one of the following phase of the product life cycle? Product life cycle, everyone actually memorized that phases. DIGMD. Development, introduction, growth, maturity, decline. So correct answer is C. Maturity is the correct answer. Others are wrong answers. Question number 3. Which of the following is an example of a fixed cost for lavender? Fixed cost for lavender. Now fixed cost definition, the cost that do not change with the level of output. The cost that do not change with the level of output. Normally flour that used in the cakes, it depends, it's variable, so can't be the A. Packaging also change with the level of output, that can't be the B. Sugar also change the level of output, so C also wrong. So answer then D, correct. Rent is the fixed cost because rent do not change with the level of output. Okay, well, let's go to question number 4, MCQ. When business employ a new member of staff, a part of the induction training would include, there are certain type of training, induction training, on the job training, off job training. Induction training is to give in the new worker a kind of to training to familiarize to the system. So correct answer is A. Obviously, yeah, shouldn't get the correct answers. A is the correct answer. Health and safety is the correct answer. B, C, D, those are wrong answers. Health and safety training you have to introduce at the first day, the first few weeks of the training, orientation training or induction training is there. Okay, this is the typical exchange rate question that right now, recently we discussed this kind of a questions. Lavender buy 150 kilogram of yeast from Germany at a cost of 2,250 euros, right? And the exchange rate for Euro, Malaysian Ringgit, the Malaysian Ringgit and the Euro currency exchange rate is 1 euro equal 5 Malaysian Ringgits, 1 to 5. So they're asking how much does lavender pay in MYR or Malaysian Ringgit for yeast. So you have to multiply 1 to 5, then 2,250 you have to multiply by 2,050 you have to multiply by 5, then you can get the value of 1 kilo. So you can see this answer. So you have to multiply. I'll show you the working for this question. So this the question was MCQ question number 4. As you can see the answer here, 11,250. 11,250, just multiply by 5. You can see 11,250. You have to just multiply the 2,250 euro multiply by 5. Then you can say how much does Lavender pay in MYR in this. That is, they are buying 150 kilograms from Germany at a cost of 2,250. That is the total cost. Total cost for 150 kilograms is 2,250. Then it is easy. This one multiplied by 5. Then you can get the answer C, 11,250. Correct answer. Okay. Then other calculation questions are coming for the part 6 MCQ. Lavender calculate the cost of a cake it makes. The weekly fixed cost is 759 and the variable cost per cake is 4.70. 4.70. Calculate the total cost of selling 1,650 cakes in a week. The calculation is the variable cost you can find out easily and fixed cost also given here. So add the fixed cost and variable cost and get the total answer. If you multiply the variable cost, so variable cost per cake is 4.7 and total cakes they have sell in that week is 1,650. If you just multiply 4.7 into 1650, answer is 7,755. You have to add the fixed cost to it. So 7,755 plus 759, answer is 8,514. Answer is D. D is the correct answer. So a couple of students have answered. 11 students actually correctly answered. The D is the correct answer. Very good. Define the short-term finance. Short-term finance definition, you don't need to any application to write. Just write short-term finance mean any amount of money, the amount of finance, any source that is taken for less than one financial year or less than 12 months, right? Less than 12 months. So the 12 months thing should be there. So in the marking scheme also it says that the money borrowed must be paid back within 12 months. The money borrowed that must be paid back within 12 months. It is a short-term finance, right? And the 1C, another definition question is there in the question of 1 part C. Define the term above the line promotion. Define the term above the line promotion. You know guys, mainly the above the line promotion is there are 2 parts out there. Above the line promotion means there are the promotion method. There are 2 methods now, above the line and below the line. Above the line method means using media. The marking scheme say the use of mass media methods to promote to a large audience. Use of mass media method. Very good. Yeah, correct answers are coming from students that have given. Yeah, promotion that implements use of mass media. You can just say it's a social media only because there are other methods also can be used like television, radio, newspapers also. So don't narrow down your answer into only social media. So replace the word social with the mass media. I think should be there. I'll show you the marking scheme. The items that you're using doing method of promotion, the use of mass media methods to promote to a large audience. The keywords are those things: mass media, large audience. Mass media, large audience. Then only you can get the 1 mark. That idea must be there in your answer. Right. Now we are moving on to a application type question, state question, a 1 mark question, easy question. State one reason why Lavender would recruit internally. Reason for internal recruitment, you can say then the workers are better know about their restaurant chains such as El Bistro, El Cafe, El Table. You can tell about the restaurant names. Or you can say when the workers or recruiters, you can see the workers, they know about the current products they are going to sell. For example, they know all the varieties they are selling like cakes and pastries and Asian foods. So you can add some kind of, it depends. There are so many responses can be come from you, but the correct answer you have to focus on mainly give some kind of indication of the case study, a product or location, something. Yes, student have given some correct answers, correct. That your answers somehow given some employees are familiar with the working practices. If you write like that, no marks. Employees are familiar with the what working practices, right? Employees familiar with the baking cakes. Employee familiar with the cooking practices. So you can replace the word working with the cooking. Another answer say because workers will be experienced already how to make cakes. That's a very good answer. That answer is very good. Actually, because there's a touch of case study. Cakes are there. Yeah. Another reason they say one student gave the correct answer. One reason is that employees will be familiar with the working practices. That's wrong. Why? There is no application. So just replace the word. Small modification you have to do in this answer. What you have to do? That students say working practice. Please change the working with the, I can say, cooking practice, because it's a restaurant. So you have to indicate this is a restaurant. So any answer, so those answers not getting any marks. You're familiar with the working practices, wrong answer. Because you don't have any touch of the case study. Look at the marking scheme. I'll show you the possible answers. So your answers are really good. I appreciate your answers. So you can see the answer. Employees will know how the different outlets operate, such as El Cafe. Employees will already have the knowledge of the cakes made by the business. I think one student, I think, gave the correct answer like that. She actually make about the indication of a cakes made by the business like that. This is how any other appropriate answers, responses. Not only these two, you can write any other appropriate response with the touch of the case study. Okay. Okay. Now let's go to the next question. It's another calculation question, 2-marker. The Lavender offering discount of 15% if customers buy 25 cakes. Each cake costs 12 Malaysian ringgits. Calculate the cost of buying 25 cakes. You are advised to show your workings. Right, this easy question. You have to find the total cost of the 25 cakes and then give the discount 25%. Easy question. So cost of show the workings. 25 is 25 into cost of a cake is 12, so 12 times 25. Then take the total and then deduct 15% out of it. I'll show you the marking scheme. So this is the marking scheme. This says total cost calculation minus 15%. Total cost for the cakes is 300. Yes, correct answers are coming from students. Very good. 12 multiplied by 25 is 300, and then give the discount 15%, that's 45. So 300 minus 45, that is 255. 255 correct answer. Full mark for the correct numerical answer. If without working also, you are giving the answers. Okay, thank you. The students actually gave correct answers for them. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next question. Question number 1, part F, explain question. Explain one advantage of being a franchisee. This kind of question, guys, when you're writing for this kind of question, advantages are, there are a lot of advantages, right? Franchisee can get the backup support, then it's like a tried and tested business, so like that. But no need to write more than one advantage. I'm always telling you, write only one advantage and explain that answer, develop that answer, right? You can say, okay, franchisees they get benefit from tried and tested business. Because of that, you can see the organization, the franchisee can get the training and other support from the franchisor, which leads to reduce the business, reduce the risk of business failure. Like that, you can give kind of a 3 sentences, because leads to and therefore, right? I'll show you the marking scheme. For example, this kind of a question is very easy to write, but a lot of students actually writing more than one advantage. They're trying to show their all the knowledge in this question, but no need. 3 markers mean only one point. Just explain that point, develop that point. Look at this answer. Franchisee invests in a tried and tested business and gets advice and training from the franchisor. This reduces the risk of failure. Like that, you can say any other answer like that. You can say franchisee invest in a like a very good like established business, tried and tested business, or with the market, the ready-made market. Therefore, the reputation of the franchisee can obtain with the franchisee, which leads to increase the revenue and the profitability. Like that, you can say any other like responses, accept any other response. Like that, there are so many advantages. So you can take one advantage and elaborate that one, right? That's how you have to write for a 3 markers like that. So no need of application like that. So and next question, I'm going to discuss the 6-mark question of the question number 1, right? So part G, analyze why customer satisfaction might be important for Lavender. In writing this kind of a case study, always try to write like a 2 points, 2 paragraphs, like first advantage, this case important for Lavender, importance of customer satisfaction. When customer satisfied, they will come again and again for their restaurant. When the customer satisfied, they will promote this restaurant. The word of mouth marketing is okay. You can talk about the application point. First of all, you can jot down the application point. First of all, what are the application point you are going to write? You can talk about the type of restaurant, El Bistro, El Cafe, El Table, hmm? different location. Then customers would want to go to different restaurant, their own chain, within the chain, if they satisfy. And you can talk about their food menu, their cakes. The customer maybe like to buy again and again, repeat purchase. Loyalty customer would like to order always the cakes and everything from their restaurant. So possible application point, first of all, you have to jot down somewhere, like a note down. What are the applications point I'm going to write here? You can talk about the cakes, you can talk about the food menus, you can talk about their like a various location names. So that is the first thing. Otherwise, when you're going to start the answer, you forget to write the application. That's what happened. The technique I'm telling you, even for 6 markers, 9 markers, 12 markers, you can use this technique. First of all, write down, note down the possible application point that you can add, and make sure to add that thing in your answer. So then only you can actually see, you can plug in the application, plug in the case study to the answer. Otherwise, you are just writing generic answer. So generic answer, everyone know how to write a general answer for this, but the application thing at the end you are going to forget. So first thing is, try to make sure that application you are going to put it. So let's go to the marking scheme and see what are the possible answer the model answer they have given for this marker. You can see in this case study the lavender. AO2 says satisfied customers are more likely to repeat purchase cakes from Lavender Bakery. They say satisfied customers are more likely to repeat purchase of cakes from Lavender Bakery. And Lavender is expanding into different types of food outlets such as El Bistro, El Cafe and El Table. So repeat purchase, look at the point regarding AO2. This leads to increase the sales and customer loyalty. So Lavender would end up spending less on promoting their products, as satisfied customers will recommend other lavender business to their other friends and family through word of mouth. High customer loyalty. So loyal customer, what they do, they promote the business. How they promote the business? To their friends and family members through word of mouth or social media, right? Whatever. And also by having different restaurants like El Bistro, El Cafe, El Table, what is the advantage? Look at the advantage. Customer satisfaction is one outlet may lead to customers trying to other outlets as well, leading to improved revenue. So one customer who satisfied with one restaurant will visit another restaurant as well. I think that's why normally we also same, like if you're happy with one hotel, right? We have, let's say, Heritage Hotel Ahungal. Heritage Ahungal is very good, and we can go to the Heritage Hotel Kandalaba, right? Next trip we can organize like that, because we want to experience the all that, customer satisfied customer always we go to, they wanted to go to repeat purchase. Same thing, different outlets they will like to visit, right? Okay, now we'll move on to the second question in this paper. So now first 20 mark question is done. Let's go to second question, right? Second question in this paper, they're asking first question, there are two states questions, application based questions. State one non-financial method of motivating staff at Lavender. Non-financial method, there are financial you also can motivate, non-financial also you can motivate. So what kind of things you can do in this case? Non-financial you can see sometimes like a perks, you can see job enrichment, job enlargement, job rotation. These are the things of non-financial method of motivation. So you can see, you can move the staff into different restaurants, like 1 week in El Bistro, 1 week in El Cafe and 1 week in El Table, like that. Look at the possible things. Job rotation between El Cafe, El Bistro and El Table. Job rotation, that's how we talk about it. If you just write job rotation, no marks. You'll talk about, okay, job rotation between their restaurant names. Please write the restaurant names. And job enrichment, right? If you just write job enrichment, 0 marks. You have to write with that application, job enrichment to give more complex tasks other than just serving customers. Just serving customers, that's application point. Like that, you can write any other responses regarding to this. The second state question, they're asking question number 2 part B, state one function of the finance area in the Lavender. Finance area, they haven't mentioned even financial department, because small business, they don't have department like that. They can't afford like that. Some business, they have small room, sometimes the finance area. A small room they might have in a restaurant, sometimes in the back office, small room like in the main head office, a small accountant or one accounts clerk or someone, a data entry operator, he actually doing all the accounting jobs. So mainly accounting jobs are right. analyzing, recording, analyzing, summarizing, interpretation. Those are the accounting. So you can say one of the financial things. Sometimes they might do the workers' salaries and wages and everything you call payroll maintenance thing they can do, and also sometimes they can responsible about paying their suppliers of the east and suppliers of the, because they have importing also, no? That there's in the beginning of the case study there's a question there, importing flour from the retail from Europe. 150 kilogram is like 2,250 euro. So you have to settle those things. You can say settlement of the bills of the suppliers of east suppliers. So make sure you write the application point. Without application point, no marks. So let's look at the possible answers for one question number 2, part B also. State question. Yes, they say calculate and pay the wages and salaries of the staff in L table. We just write the maintenance of the salaries and wages, no marks. You have to write the name of a restaurant or restaurant workers or something, which actually then only you can get the full marks. And also you can see pay suppliers of baking ingredients on time. Pay suppliers of the baking ingredients on time. So baking ingredient, or you can say flour or yeast or vanilla or eggs, whatever. You can say any kind of a thing, but touch the case study. Baking ingredients on time. I think this is the most easiest question to write in a question paper like this, but most of the students, my experience, I know they found difficult with writing this 1 mark question. They feel it hard because unnecessarily they are losing marks, right? Question number 3. Question number 3, that is part C of the question number 2. Explain one way business can use penetration pricing. Penetration pricing, is entering with the low price and gradually increase the price. One way business can do this. One way business can use penetration pricing. Look at the marking scheme. No application, no only knowledge part, only expecting. 1C, business can offer low price for a new product. Low price for a new product. This will entice or encourage customers to try the new product in its introduction stage and stop them from buying from the competitors. That's how you have to write 3 sentences. As a result of entering with a low product, low prices, new product, then this will encourage customers to try the new product at their introduction stage and stop them from buying from their competitors. So you must have one point and you must be able to explain. Okay. One student asking like this answer, set the business in the market and attract customers from other competitors in the introduction stage of this product. That also correct answer, but if I mark, I will give you like a 2 out of 3 for this answer. I'll repeat the answer and that answer. Right? The student says that set the business in the market. What that means? Set the business in the market. You can see set low prices. Set low prices for a product in the market. That's why you have to change that sentence, right? Right? You have to change the sentence, my dear. So set the business in the market is wrong. You can say set the low price for a product in the market. Then you can attract more customers from other competitors at the introduction stage. It's a perfect answer. Only the first sentence you have to word, right? That you have to change, my dear. So then only you can actually get 3 out of 3. But that's a very good answer indeed. You got very good marks, but only thing you have to just modify. Talk about set, reduce the price a little bit. You have to give the idea, the knowledge of the penetration pricing. What is the meaning of the penetration pricing? Reducing prices, low prices to enter into the market, penetrate into the market. Okay. So I think you understood that question. We'll go to the next question. Question number 2, part D. Right. Question number 2, part D. Explain one reason. Why business would have short span of control, right? Short span of control. 3 mark question from HR. So opposite of short span of control is what? Large span of control. Short span of control means few subordinates are with you. So it's easy to communicate also. That's the one thing, right? Short span of control, like very easy to communicate because very few members are there. It's like doing an individual class and a group class. Short span of control, large span of control. So one reason why business would have a short span of control in the marking scheme, this is the answer. You can say, let's one point and elaborate it. So having a short span of controls, this will allow the business to have a better communication. As I told you, communication will be faster. right, with employees, as a message have less level to go through. Message have less level to grow through and lead into more productive workforce. Explain that point, elaborate that point, so and so, so and so, right? As a result of high good communication leads to what happened, the message will pass through less levels of the organization, which means staff become more productive, workforce become more productive. Like that, you must have one point and must be able to explain that answer. Yes, I got one answer from student. Okay. um, the answer says that it's easier to pass a message, which make it easier for workers to share their ideas with their superior, which will increase their productivity. That's a 3 out of 3. Very good answer. Excellent mark. Excellent answer. So I repeat that answer from that student. Easier to pass the message, which make it easier for workers to share their ideas among them. Pseudo sentences. And finally, he says that superiors, which may improve the productivity, right? They can share their ideas with their superiors and peers, and also as a result, which improve the productivity. So you can say labor productivity, right? Because not the manufacturing something, the organization entire productivity, but you can say workforce productivity or the entire organizational productivity. Okay, so that's a very good answer. Keep it up. So it's a nice responses coming from you. I really appreciate your ideas and responses at this moment, right? So next question you can see. I'm going to question number 2, part E. Question number 2, part E. Right, this is another 3-mark question, another 3-mark question. Always there are 2 3-mark questions are coming in question number 2. Explain one reason why diseconomies of scale may occur in a business. Right, this is coming from the production and operation management part, economies of scale and diseconomies of scale. So economies of scale, they're asking diseconomies of scale may occur. One reason only, there are so many reasons, bureaucracy, corporate red tape, and you can see the labor. Sometimes normally they are having diseconomies of scale coming from the because of the lack of communication. When organizations become too big, then what happens, then they cannot communicate very well. So as a result, the diseconomies of scale can become. There are some certain reasons like that. So take one reason and elaborate that thing. We'll see what kind of answer is there in our marking scheme. So let's go to question number 2-party market scheme. So they say the one reason for diseconomies of scale, the business gets too big, employees can become demotivated, which could result in falling productivity levels. That's how I explain. Business get too big. That's why expansion. The main reason for diseconomies of scale is the too much expansion. So business get too big. As a result, employees can become demotivated. You can say about the communication also become difficult, so demotivated because of the lack of relationship with the superior management, and as a result, which could result in falling productivity levels, That's what happened in that kind of a thing, right? That's question number 2, part E. Explain question. Okay, let's go to the 9-mark question now. The question number 2, part F. 9-mark question. This I am asking batch production or floor production. Batch production or floor production. So Lavender has 8 El Cafe outlets operating across Malaysia, because they have 3 types of restaurant: El Cafe, El Bistro, El Table. These are 3 types, but under that 3 types, they have different versions. Are there outlets are there ranging everywhere. So El Cafe is the main one. They are selling their cakes and like a bakery item. They are selling to El Cafe. Um, outlets 8 outlets are there in Malaysia, and they are planning to open another 8 more outlets. They want to expand it, like even double the size, to maintain the standards of their bakery. It's a bakery, right? Don't forget, it's a bakery item all across the outlets. It needs to consider the most suitable method of production. There are 2 methods of productions are there: batch production and floor production. Batch production or floor production. So you have to justify one method and what kind of method the Lavender should use, right? So I personally, if I'm selecting, I would go with the batch production level, because bakery items normally, in our normal examples also, batch production, I'm using a bakery, right? So bakery items, pastries and everything, you can't continuously produce this 24 hours, you can't operate. So normally batch production in the business, but floor production also possible. So the way of your justifying is the best thing. So if you select batch production, I'll give 2 advantages, 1 disadvantage, and the evaluation point, the conclusion answer. So 2-1 method is the best. 2-1 method. So using the Meliba point, as I told you, make your point, explain the point using BLT method, link it to the case study, this restaurant like the bakery things, and then linked and tell what kind of impact is there for the business and what kind of impact for there for the business area as a result of that. So I believe that this 9-mark question, because the space is only 18 lines, right? So you can't write big answer for here. You can see 9-mark mean only just like a like 75% of the page you have to write, right? That is 3 paragraph is more than enough. So I had to write 2 advantage and 1 evaluation point against the batch production, and however the justification model. So let's go to the possible points, both points, option 1 and option 2, but stick to one option. My advice is, if you select option 1, you can strike out the second option and don't talk about second option. Just stick to one option and talk about 2 advantage and 1 disadvantage. So a possible answer for option 1 is to focus on option 1, batch production. Application point. There are also 9-marker. Please make sure to jot down the application point what you're going to write about. You can talk about the cakes. You can talk about the El Cafe, the name, and the ingredient, the main they are selling that thing, the product they are selling, the outlets, number of outlets they are selling. They have already 8 and they are going to double it another 8. The 16 outlets they have, which means they can make a large quantity they can produce like that. These things must make sure to put it to answers, numbers, names, locations, like that. So option 1, each outlet made, right? Each outlet match the needs of the local customers. Each outlet match the needs of the local customers. And also look at the analysis point. The needs of the customers from the area will be met and sales will increase. The needs of the customers will area will met and sales will increase. However, there will be not consistencies across all outlets, and that will make the movement of employee difficult. However, there will not be consistencies across all outlets, and that will make the movement of employees difficult. If you take the flour production, right? If the lavender uses flour production, it makes all its cake the same for all outlets, right? That is a one central point. Continuously producing, so the production become standardized, right? That's an advantage. Another application point. Look at the analysis. As a result, lavender could produce more cakes in less time, thus ensuring supplies to all its outlets. However, the flour production is very difficult to change and cannot take into account the regional taste, and if the cakes do not sell, and then there is a potential for the business to make a loss. Look at the evaluation point. However, there is you can't have flexibility in the flour production. As a result, you can say, and you can take into account the regional differences in the taste. In same Malaysia also there are regional differences are there. It's a big country, and you can't that they do not take into account that part. Therefore, you can't. If they do not sell that product, there is a potential for the business to make a loss. There's a potential for business to make a loss. So that's why the 9-mark question when you're writing, so select one option. So this case, even it can be a job production or it can be a batch production. Sorry, batch and flour production. Stick to one option and you can talk about, okay, batch production I select because of this advantage, firstly. Secondly, because of this advantage. However, batch production has its own limitation like this, right? There can be like a stand, some taste differences can be there because different outlets have to produce that thing. So different times. So inflexibilities sometimes. That's right. So evaluate at the end. You can say, however, advantage outweigh the disadvantage. However, this will be depends on the regional differences. However, it's still depending on the different taste of the consumers. Like that, it depends on point. Also, really important to address in this kind of a question, 9-marker. Then you can have a successful answer. You can write like 9 out of 9 mark you can achieve if you write like that. Okay, so make sure the space is limited. Like 9-marker, only 18 lines, a concise answer you have to write. Right? You can't write like a long stories. 12-marker, you have space, but like 1.5 page. But 9-marker, like less than 1 page you have to write. So make sure you write the not the quantity, the quality is the answer. Quality answer. Make sure to write the application first of all. Yeah? No need to write waste time definition. No need to define batch production. No need to define the flour production, because don't waste time for that. Just start with the answer. I go with option 1 because of this, first of all this, second because of this. However, there is a limitation like that, and at the end you can say, anyway, this option overall batch production is the best item, or flour production is the best option for the lavender to use because of this thing justify. However, it depends on this, evaluate. So conclusion like that, and then you can go for a higher mark in 9 mark, right? So that's the end of the question number 1 and 2 discussion today. So question number 3 and 4 discussion will see you in my next session. So until then, bye bye everyone. So don't forget to subscribe my channel and listen to this record again and again in closer to examination. This is really important for you when you're preparing for your mock exam and in future exam. You can use this in your readings. Thank you very much, students. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.